Hello and good morning. This is Jason Wampler. I'm the owner of Wampler. We're a very small aerospace manufacturing company. We're in the business of designing and building sounding rockets, but that's not why I'm here today. This is yet another episode of Dime Store Psychology, and all I need for fodder or fuel for this program on YouTube is just watch snippets of news. I watched a snippet of Jimmy Kimmel, a special edition, where Jimmy Kimmel was expounding upon the incidents that took place in Washington D.C. When the Capitol building was stormed. Then I also watched Stephen Colbert. It just seems to me like what we need in this country or in the world as well is a healthy dose of brotherly love and consideration. I've already expounded on that, but before we even talk about that, what we really need is to be proactive about reaching out and shaking hands with other people and trying to understand where they're coming from. We have two ears and one mouth. Now, I'm not touting peace, love, and understanding and brotherly love. You can't force two people to love each other, but at the same time, you can't mediate certain forms of strife and contention and political dogfights. I enjoy my relative freedom in this particular country. I am politically neutral. I won't talk about religion or politics, but I do enjoy the comfort level that this being this country affords. It seems to be the most affluent and successful and effective government in the world right now, and possibly in the history of human beings, because it's a culmination of the most successful parts of other governments throughout human history and the amalgamation and alloys thereof. But again, here's the thing: like Abraham Lincoln said, "A house divided cannot stand." One side of the house is built out of brick, the other is built out of cardboard, or the house is missing a couple of load-bearing walls. The roof's going to collapse. It's going to kill everybody inside. So, without saying using too many terms that bespeak or smack of politics, there is a word called bipartisanship, but what it really means is that two different parties working together for the same cause. If everybody's fighting at everybody else and nobody understands what the other person's coming from, instead of pushing things forward in the effort of leadership, government, and problem solving, none of that's going to get done. At this point in time, you have to start setting your own personal feelings, your level of comfort or discomfort aside, and do your job. I'm doing mine. I'm requesting other people do theirs. As for Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, you guys, you need to be the voice of this country and keep saying what you're saying. But, as a suggestion, Stephen Colbert does not do this. Stephen Colbert speaks off the cuff. Unfortunately, Stephen, you need to put more mental horsepower into your thought process. You need to start thinking more. When I say thinking more, Stephen, Mr. Colbert, people really look up to you and respect you. So you need to make a practice of thinking pretty much every second of your waking hours. So attaining to something called the scientific mind. As for Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy, I want to believe in you too. I've had some disagreements with you because I've seen you. But to be honest, Jimmy, you can't keep reading from a script or a teleprompter. I could tell your eyes were focused on a fixed plane directly, and you're playing a sight as you're looking at the camera. Jimmy, you gotta be like George Carlin or your contemporary Stephen Colbert or myself. I don't script anything. I speak off the cuff from my heart, which came through my mind to begin with. So I think I use my mind to think, but I'm impelled by my heart to speak. And at 50 years of age, I have a tremendous amount to say. For both of you, keep speaking up, keep speaking out, and please keep raising the awareness of the public's consciousness, because that's what we need. Unfortunately, right now, I'm afraid that this is the beginning of the end for this country, only because of the fact that there have been a tremendous amount of mismanagement efforts taking place that compromise this country's structures of leadership and governing, including first responders and even law enforcement. I'm really, really worried and afraid for my own freedom right now. But here's the thing: we have to pay Caesar's things to Caesar, as that saying goes. Keep paying your taxes, obey traffic laws, When required, wear a mask. Now, you're in somebody else's house, show some respect. The other thing is you have to pay respect, to the leaders in this country or in the state or local. It includes the governor of the state of California. I'm not going to introduce any of my personal feelings because personal feelings, they tend to generate anger, fear, or they draw people towards you, and they think they need to rally at your side, and you're their beloved cult leader. I don't want that either. But the thing is, not only do we have to be kind to other people and try to understand where it's coming from, guess what, folks? Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, even Seth Meyers, and I believe there's one other individual. Well, he's not very intelligent, so I won't mention his name. Everybody and anybody in Hollywood who may be a public figurehead who feels the need to speak out, guess what? You do need to speak out. It includes Robert De Niro and anybody else has political commentary or some type of socioeconomic or social input. Black Americans, white Americans, Chinese Americans, Mexican Americans. We need to speak up and speak out. We need to be there's no such thing as a common voice. We need to raise our voices and let the government know, the local government, local, state, federal, or whatever, that this is how things should be. You're governing us. If you mismanage, you're affecting our lives. However, maintaining a strictly political, strictly neutral stance on politics. I want to be careful about expressing too much disdain or too much of any type of personal feeling or opinions towards anything. The purpose of dinosaur psychology is to help people understand themselves, help people understand other people, and help people along with their social skills and their interpersonal skills, and to help people understand human psychology and interdynamic relationships. Now, I may sound like a clinical psychiatrist or psychologist. I am not. I'm working on my PhD first and foremost, and I say PhD because I'm going to do and teach in industrial design engineering. First and foremost, I'm an inventor, designer, and engineer. And right now, I'm in aerospace because I love it so much. But the next PhD I'm going to get after that, if I live that long, and when I get the funds and the means, I'm going to go ahead and pursue my PhD in just general human psychology. Because if I talk the talk, I need to walk the walk. So I need to have the credentials to back up my words. Excuse me, had something in my mouth. That is kind of gross. I'm an uncouth type of individual, but we're at the 8-minute mark. I like to keep these discussions on this program to 10 minutes or less because I have a small phone with a small memory. I actually have two phones, but one of them right now I'm kind of letting go into stasis because I don't feel like spending the $57 monthly fee to keep the service renewed. But I'll get around to it eventually because it's a better phone than this one. I don't really like staring at myself in color, but you can see you can actually see how ugly I really am. I look better in black and white, but the world isn't black and white, so there you go. I'd like to say a shout out to some public figureheads. I don't like the word celebrity, but public figureheads. Dr. Phil, I don't know what your first or last name is. You are an amazing individual. I suspect that someday, if I ever get the pleasure to meet you in person, I would be in awe. I would bask in your glow, sir. Another person I'd like to give a shout out to, Dr. Drew Pinsky. Dr. Drew Pinsky, I thought that perhaps you dropped off the grid because of allegations against you that you for whatever reason, caused some people to commit suicide. I think that's a horrendous, baseless accusation or set of accusations. Of course, I don't think that's just true. I listened to you earlier when you had the talk show on KROQ, and now you're an independent commentator and doctor and psychologist, as far as I understand. I have a great deal of admiration and respect for you. I think that we could have a good back and forth going on. Again, I'm working on only one PhD. I want to get my second PhD, but at 50 years of age, I could go to school for the rest of my life because of all the fields of interest that I hold in my heart. But now I tell you what, if I make a deal with the angel of death, mechanize myself, and live to the ripe old age of 250 years, maybe I'll get something done. But anyway, that's just me. All right, it's 10-minute mark. This has been another episode of Dime Store Psychology. It is 10:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's it. Tune in tomorrow morning between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode. Thanks, and you folks have a great day. Bye-bye.